Do you remember that moment when the ground seemed to vibrate before you even saw what was coming? Back in the 1980s, American trucks didn't arrive quietly. You heard them first. A deep, echoing growl rolling across highways, construction sites, and open plains. These weren't just vehicles built to move cargo. They were symbols of strength, freedom, and pure mechanical power. In that decade, trucks ruled the road, and if you were alive back then, you didn't just watch them pass by. You felt them. Today, you're going back to that golden era, when steel mattered more than screens and engines were judged by their sound, not by software updates. One of the lesser-known legends of that time was the Diamond Rio. It never chased attention, but it earned respect everywhere it went. Built in the United States, this truck represented old-school American toughness. Most Diamond Rios of the 1980s ran Detroit inline-six diesel engines, designed not for speed, but for endurance. These trucks were made to run day after day, mile after mile, without complaint. They became common in construction work, regional freight hauling, and industrial transport. Drivers trusted them because they were simple, reliable, and brutally honest machines. Even today, a handful of Diamond Rios still exist, restored and running at agricultural fairs and vintage truck shows. That kind of survival doesn't happen by accident. Then there was the Autocar DC-100, a truck that looked like it had been built for war rather than work. Autocar was already a respected name, but the DC-100 took durability to another level. This machine didn't care about comfort or style. It cared about survival. Powered by massive Cummins diesel engines, it delivered extreme torque at low speeds. Acceleration was slow, but once it started moving, it was unstoppable. These trucks were sent into mines, forests, quarries, and job sites, where failure was not an option. Operators loved the DC-100 because it could endure punishment that destroyed other rigs. During brutal winter storms in the 1980s, some were even used in emergency rescue operations, pushing through snow and ice when nothing else could move. That's the kind of reputation money can't buy. If you grew up in a small American town during that era, chances are you saw an International Harvester Loadstar almost every single day. This truck was everywhere. It wasn't glamorous, but it was essential. Loadstars were used as school buses, garbage trucks, farm haulers, fire service vehicles, and utility trucks. Under the hood, many ran gasoline V8 engines that delivered steady, predictable power. They weren't fast, but they were dependable. Mechanics loved them because they were easy to work on. Cities loved them because they rarely broke down. Some Loadstars were even converted into food trucks long before food trucks became popular. That kind of versatility made the Loadstar a quiet hero of the 1980s start as highways stretched farther and freight demands increased. Drivers began to demand more comfort without giving up power. That's where the international TransStar 4100 series came in. This truck was built for the long road. Under its hood, Detroit diesel V8 engines delivered smooth, consistent pulling power designed for cross-country hauling. It wasn't about speed. It was about stamina. The cab offered more space, better seating, and improved ride quality compared to earlier trucks. For drivers spending weeks on the road, that mattered. These trucks hauled everything from agricultural goods to industrial freight and even supported massive events by transporting equipment across states. When something needed to move reliably over long distances, the TransStar was ready. But some drivers wanted more than reliability. They wanted personality. That's exactly what the Western Star 4900 delivered. This truck wasn't just driven, it was admired. Built for customization, the Western Star allowed owner-operators to turn their rigs into personal statements. Chrome grills, polished fuel tanks, custom paint jobs, and upgraded interiors were common. Under the hood, Cummins big cam engines delivered serious horsepower and torque, making steep hills and long grades feel manageable. On the road, the Western Star demanded attention. At truck stops, it drew crowds. Even today, restored Western Star 4900s remain centerpieces at classic truck shows. reminding everyone that work trucks can also be works of art. Ford refused to be left behind during this trucking boom, and the LTL 9000 proved it. This was Ford's premium long-haul machine, designed to compete with the biggest names in the industry. With Cummins and Caterpillar diesel engines available, the LTL 9000 delivered impressive power and highway performance. Its long hood, bold chrome grille, and raised sleeper cab gave it a commanding presence. Inside, drivers found better ergonomics and comfort than many competitors offered at the time. Independent drivers loved it because it combined strength with style. You didn't just haul freight in an LTL 9000, you made a statement doing it. And just when it seemed like trucks couldn't get more compact and powerful at the same time. The white Freightliner cabover proved everyone wrong. Built to meet strict length regulations in many states, this cabover design placed the cab directly over the engine. That meant more cargo space without sacrificing power. Detroit diesel V8 engines gave these trucks a sharp, aggressive sound that echoed through cities and tunnels. They became kings of ports, shipping yards, and urban freight routes. Drivers often customized them heavily, adding decals, lights, and unique paint schemes. Long before social media and custom truck shows, these cabovers were already turning working rigs into rolling expressions of pride. If the cabover era had a true superstar, it was the Kenworth K100. This truck wasn't just popular, it was iconic. During the 1980s, the K100 became a symbol of freedom on the open road. You didn't just drive it, you lived in it. With its raised double sleeper cab, it offered something rare for its time, a feeling of home behind the wheel. Under the cab sat powerful Cummins engines that delivered serious pulling, strength while keeping the truck compact and agile. This made it perfect for tight highways and busy cities without sacrificing long-haul capability. The K100 wasn't just seen on the road. It appeared in movies, TV shows, and commercials, embedding itself into American pop culture. For many young viewers back then, this truck wasn't just transportation. It was a dream. But while the K100 represented innovation, the Peterbilt 359 represented perfection. This truck didn't need trends or gimmicks. Its design spoke for itself. Long hood, round headlights, polished chrome, and a stance that demanded respect. Built with Cummins engines known for longevity, the 359 delivered smooth, reliable power that could last for decades. Drivers loved how it felt on the road. Steady, confident, and solid. Many older operators refused to trade their 359s even when newer trucks became available. They maintained them, restored them, and passed them down. Some of these trucks are still running today, not as museum pieces but as working machines. That kind of loyalty only happens when something is built right from the start, and then comes the legend that stands above all others. The truck that defines American trucking itself. The Kenworth W900. By the time the 1980s arrived, the W900 had already earned respect, but this was the decade when it became immortal. Massive Cummins and Caterpillar engines gave it power that felt endless. Torque that pulled mountains and confidence that never faded. The ride was strong, stable, and surprisingly comfortable for such a large machine. Dual stacks rose behind the cab like monuments. Polished fuel tanks reflected the sun, and the long nose stretched forward as if daring the road to challenge it. Inside, the W900 offered luxury unheard of in earlier trucks. Wood trim, plush seating, custom lighting, and sleeper configurations that felt closer to an RV than a work vehicle. Drivers didn't just operate the W900, they took pride in it. The W900 wasn't limited to one type of work. It hauled high-value freight, heavy industrial loads, coast-to-coast shipments, and show-quality trailers. You'd see it rolling across deserts, climbing mountain passes, and parked at truck stops, drawing attention from everyone around. Its presence in movies, music videos, and advertising only strengthened its reputation. Even today, decades later, the W900 is still in production, its design largely unchanged. That alone tells you everything you need to know. When something becomes perfect, you don't replace it. You preserve it. Looking back, these trucks weren't just machines built from steel and bolts. They were partners to the people who drove them. They built highways, cities, industries, and livelihoods. They crossed state lines, carried dreams, and defined what American engineering stood for during one of its most powerful decades. The 1980s weren't just a time period. They were an attitude, and these trucks carried that attitude across the nation. Each one had a personality. The quiet reliability of the Diamond Rio, the unstoppable force of the Autocar DC-100, the everyday heroism of the international Loadstar, the endurance of the TransStar, the pride and customization of the Western Star, the bold confidence of the Ford LTL 9000, the efficiency and attitude of the Freightliner cabover, the cultural impact of the Kenworth K100, the timeless beauty of the Peterbilt 359, and finally, the unmatched legacy of the Kenworth W900. These trucks remind us of a time when power was mechanical, not digital, when driving required skill, not assistance systems, when the sound of an engine told you everything you needed to know. They weren't built to be replaced every few years. They were built to last. And many of them did. Now think about this. If one of these legends appeared on a modern highway today, would it still turn heads? Would people still pull out their phones to record it? The answer is obvious. Because real legends never fade. They echo through time, carried forward by memory, steel, and the people who refuse to forget them. So now it's your turn. Which of these trucks would you want to drive if you could go back to the 1980s? Which one left the strongest impression on you? Drop your answer in the comments and share your story. If this journey through trucking history brought back memories or sparked your curiosity, hit like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. More legendary machines are waiting, and the road ahead is always calling.